So this video is about breaking free from the healing trap. The feeling that you need to heal all these past, this shadow work of these past traumas in order to manifest. And the trick here is that sometimes you can get caught up in the healing, thinking that you need to heal everything before you can manifest, which couldn't be further from the truth. And I'm going to tell you why and how. The law of the universe that this covers this is the law of perpetual transmutation of energy. Many people think that it takes years to heal yourself of whatever traumas you've experienced in your life. But that's not necessarily true, because energy transmutes as soon as you understand the reason why maybe you are repeating a certain activity or experiencing the same thing, or you're, continually depressed. Once you figure out what is triggering that, you can immediately transmute the energy of it once you are aware of it. And healing your shadow work or doing your shadow work is only meant to be a tool. It's a vehicle or a tool to get you toward the end game, which is living your desired life, being your desired self. So since energy can shift or transmute instantly, what keeps you in that loop of healing or feeling like you need to heal your shadow work is probably telling the same old story, like the story of your trauma, and the story of what happened to you, how you're feeling or how you felt in that trauma, and why. I actually had an instant of that yesterday. I was talking to my mom and something came up about something that had traumatized me when I was little, and I brought it up, and afterwards, I just felt terrible about it because it just made her feel bad, because it wasn't obviously her intention to traumatize her child. But, this is what happens. Parents often don't realize the little things that they say and do to their kids that impact them throughout their whole adult life. But the way to stop that impact is to stop telling the story. I didn't need to say it. I regretted it afterward. And now I'm just reflecting on it to let you know that, yeah, this happens from time to time. And it's okay. Look, it's okay that it happened. I do think I didn't need to say that. That's where the regret comes from. But at the same time, I don't regret it, because I realize I don't need to tell that story anymore. Just having it come out like that and seeing the pain it caused all the parties involved. It caused me pain. It caused my mom pain. We didn't need to hear that and go through it. I'm mature enough to realize that that's way in the past, and it doesn't have to affect me to this day, or I can end the effect now by not telling the story. I'm over it. I'm over the emotions of it. And I moved on. I don't have to revisit that ever again. And I honestly don't even remember why it came up, but now it's done. It's like, okay, we all get it. So stop telling that old story. Once you realize, and I realized that those kind of emotions and that story could keep me in a place of the past, of not moving toward what I want. Or maybe it popped up because it was still lingering back there and maybe niggling at my own self-worth. And so now I can realize, okay, that's what it was doing, and that's why it was brought to my attention. I'm just realizing this and speaking to you. So this is real time showing you why these things happen and how you can move past them. Acknowledge that, okay, I might still have a little bit of that going on, but now that I know that, the energy feels different. I feel free. I feel freer. So I can move on toward, my other goals, knowing that I am good enough. I am smart enough. And even within that conversation I had with my mom, she said, you know, because basically, I'll just, so basically what it was it was a science fair. I'm just going to tell you what it was. It was a science fair. I was young. It was high school, and I had procrastinated. And so I stayed up all night and I was still working on it in the morning before school. And my mom found out. She woke up and there I was still working on it. And so she said some disparaging words that basically just made me at the time feel like, you know, I wasn't good enough. I wasn't, you know, what I did was not good, and, you know, and that I shouldn't wait until the last minute, yada, yada, yada. So we turn our projects in, I felt like crap about it. And then the day that, that they had put the ribbons on all the projects and you got to see, well, who won, everybody ran to the back of the classroom where the projects were, and I sat in my seat because I knew, because my mom had told me it's a piece of crap and, you know, you shouldn't have waited till last minute. And I sat there and someone had to tell me, Dina, you won a prize. And I was like, you must be wrong. You know, like, you're kidding. And so they got me to go up and look. And sure enough, I had gotten a 3rd place ribbon, I think it was, on my project. And after that, so I told my mom this, and she said, you know, Dina, all your teachers all thought that you were the best student when you were young. And I was like, yeah, I guess that's true. Because I was a good student. I really tried really hard and everything. But it took, I guess, that bubbling up to realize, you know, maybe that was something niggling in the back of my mind about my own self-worth and, you know, maybe a little imposter syndrome. So this is an example, real time, me discovering and realizing, okay, that's what that was about. But you don't have to sit in these stories. So once it bubbles up, right, then figure out, why is this being presented to me now? What am I to learn from this? And don't dwell in these stories. Don't dwell in your shadow work. Just realize what it is, why it's bubbling up to the surface, how it's affecting your objectives toward getting toward your desired reality, and then let it go. Let it freaking go.